Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are doing a recap and review of The Bachelorette season 16 episode 9, and yes, it's time for some serious conversations. But before we jump into this video, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. If you like this video, smash the like button, and if you want to drop a comment, talk with us. So coming off of last week, as you guys remember, we had a situation going on. Kind of started off as a little bit of a tiff back and forth between both Bennett and Noah. And of course, we left last week with Tayshia sitting between them trying to sort this thing out, even though she thought it was definitely something that was very high school, childish, grade school, whatever you want to describe it. She had to actually take the time to figure this out. So the first person that she has a sit-down conversation with is Bennett, because the biggest thing that she did mention when they both were in the room with her is that by him saying that Noah had 0% chance of ending this situation with her, to Tayshia, it looked like, that her integrity is being questioned. And honestly, this is something that we have seen throughout both franchises, Bachelor and Bachelorette, where, you have contestants questioning whether a particular cast member or opponent is there for the right reasons, or if they can't understand why the Bachelor or the Bachelorette is choosing this person or whatever. And it's interesting that Tayshia actually brought it to the forefront and said, you know what, it's my decision. I trust my decision. You're going to just have to deal with whatever I choose to do. But you cannot question my integrity when it comes to my decision making. And I agree with that. I mean, everybody has their own choices and their decisions. So I can understand why she said that. Now she also have a sit-down conversation with Noah. This one is a little more, I would say, relaxed, than maybe the other one that she had with Bennett. She tells Noah pretty much that, hey, I understand that, he's getting under your skin, but, everybody in the house, when something goes on, your name comes up. Why is that? And I mean, it could be many different reasons. It could be jealousy. It could be because he's a very outspoken people, and a lot of people are uncomfortable around very outspoken people. So they'll either take offense to it, they can't deal with it, whatever the situation may be. But I mean, honestly, besides, him being straightforward, all of this started because of the fact that he jumped the fence to fight in that wrestling match. And then everybody got upset about that, and it's been nonstop since then. Now, it is a wake-up call for him that he maybe need to respond versus react to certain things that's going on. But I mean, I wouldn't say don't be you. You got to be you no matter what at the end of the day. But she definitely has a connection with Noah. And so, of course, they hugged it out. And, she gave him a wake-up call to say, hey, you need to think before you act. So she got back and she had to make a decision on who was going to get that rose between both Bennett and Noah. And Bennett was just so confident. Oh, yeah, I got this in the bag. When it comes to comparing me against Noah, I'm a shoo-in. I mean, he was extremely confident of the fact that the choice was only going to be for him, hands down. And unfortunately, you cannot think for someone else. The choices belong to them. And of course, as we all saw, Tayshia, she kind of gave him some compliments, but also in the same moment told him, look, you question my integrity, so don't think I forgot that. And she did the same thing with Noah. She gave him compliments to put a smile on his face, but then also said, hey, you got to figure out why everybody has an issue with you. So she thought about it, and she thought about it, and her decision was to send Bennett home to be eliminated. And he was like, "For real? Are you serious?" And, of course, Noah is reeling because he figured he won, because of everything that him and Bennett had been going through. And listen, Bennett was kind of condescending from what we saw. I don't know about, I always want to throw editing in there, but there was some condescending conversations Bennett was doing. And from what I understand, he also said things like that was condescending to other people in the house as well. But at the end of the evening, Tayshia's decision was to send Bennett home. So, I didn't see a connection there. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Whether you thought that there was actually some form of connection with Bennett and Tayshia. Bennett obviously said that, he was there for her and was interested, and was so shocked that she, was sending him home. I don't know if it was just his confidence. Was he being arrogant in his own thoughts? I mean, that's a possibility, but he was like, "I can't believe this. I'm shocked by this. I can't believe she made this decision to send me home. I don't get it." And that was his thought process, because he thought he was a shoo-in. He really did. And it really baffled him that he was eliminated. So now we're back where Tayshia is having a conversation with Noah, and she was like, "Don't take this as a victory." Now, I mean, it's nice to feel like, "Oh my God, I was chosen." And I mean, he's going to feel some kind of way about that. But at the same time, I also understand where she's coming from. Like, don't get too excited because you on the edge. You could have been out of here too. So let's see what happened next. So now we have our rose ceremony where we're going to have eliminations. It's only a total of 5 roses left. And unfortunately, we're losing some folks, and I think she pretty much really have a pretty good group of guys that's left over, Let me know what you guys think, but, of course, Zach was definitely on the top of her list. Ben is one of the other ones on her list. Of course, Brendan, he's a front runner. Then we also have Riley, who also is, I can see development in his relationship. Ivan definitely is a front runner along with Brendan. And then we also have Noah. However, in the process of it all, we lost DeMar. We also lost Ed. And then, of course, the third person eliminated was Spencer. So let me know what you guys think, and was this the right decision? So now, besides the first conversation between Bennett and the conversation that she had with Noah, we now go into our one-on-one date with Ben Smith. And I think they started out pretty cool. JoJo came over and gave them these little clues that they had to follow with these scooters that they rode on. And the first one was about a sport including the word love in it, which was tennis, which is 0, which we all, for most of us, we already know that. She got another card or a tip for them to go over and break piñatas as a form of finding the next clue. And I thought that was kind of fun. And of course, they said this journey has been a long one. Let's sit somewhere and relax. And that they did. So they actually now move into their evening dinner date. And there is definitely some deep conversations. One thing, Ben is a front runner for her. And she says, like, I need to know more about him and the most deepest parts. I need him to open up and be vulnerable. And as we saw in yesterday's episode, it was definitely very hard because it led into some deep situations besides him being in the military and he broke his back. But how he tried to commit suicide twice in 2018 and in 19, and how close he was to his sister. And it was a very, very heartfelt, deep telling stories. I would say this is one huge way he became vulnerable with Tayshia. I mean, he said his own sister didn't even know how she impacted him to keep him from, committing suicides, because they were failed attempts, of course. And, the thing is that when you have situations like them, people need to rally around. He also said that he got very aggressive counseling. Tayshia definitely appreciated his vulnerability, and so of course she gave him the date rose. They had a sweet little dance afterward, and they definitely built a connection here. I mean, that deep conversation had to happen, especially with everything that has happened in the past 2 to 3 years almost. So I'm glad that they were able to address this, and I'm glad that ABC was definitely able to put out information for people that is going through this. So here's the information. Okay, so now we have a group date, and it's 5 guys that's on the group date, which is Brendan, Ivan, Noah, Riley, and Zach. And what it is and JoJo actually explained it. The green light, tell the truth. The middle orange light, maybe. And then, of course, the red light is you're lying. And so Tayshia did it first to show integrity of the actual meter. So let's talk about 2 outstanding people in this group date, which was Zach. And the question was, have you ever cheated before? And Zach was quick to the point, yes, I have cheated before. And of course, she's giving him the side eye. And then the other thing is when Riley was asked about his name, that was the other issue that the red light beeped on. Of course, she was like, what, his name? Who lies about their name? But it's interesting as we get further into this, because there is again, deeper conversation that has to be had with both Riley regarding the name issue, and of course with Zach regarding the cheating issue. So first with Zach, she had a conversation on the fact that cheating is not tolerated. That is one thing that broke up her marriage, because she, of course, has been married before. And Zach breaks it down. I was in a situation where I was in love with this one girl, and then, there was this other girl, and I kissed this girl, and, of course, Tayshia is buying into this thing like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Cheating is something that I won't tolerate. And then he says this was in 6th grade. And she was like, you got to be kidding me, 6th grade? And she was like, for real, you never cheated? And he was like, no. I don't know if they drum all this up for drama and hysteria, just kind of like one of those YouTube pranks that we would normally see. But it's still in his past, and it was, in his eyes, considered cheating, so he did not lie. Now, let's talk about the next situation with Riley with his name. Now, this one goes a little bit deeper. This has something to do with the fact of his relationship with his father and his mother, and how his father became to have full custody of him and his siblings. And then some truths were found out as he became an adult. And of course, after learning about everything, Riley's name was originally Dwayne Henderson Jr. at birth after his father, but of course, after everything he found out and reconnecting with his mother, he legally changed his name, which is now Devon Riley Christian, and Riley is his middle name. So, he was able to be vulnerable about that. He showed some emotion. Tayshia loves that. She wants people to be open. And of course, they definitely reconnected. Well, I won't say reconnected. They connected deeply, deeper over that. And she was happy that he was able to speak his truth on that. And I feel that he should have done that. However, Tayshia is still not sure. She's not sure of what she want to do with this rose that she has. Hometowns are next week, so she got to make the right decision. So she sit down with the guys and lets them know that she needs more time and that she's not giving out a rose on this group date. And you can tell by the guys' facial expressions, they were kind of disappointed inwardly, but they didn't speak out to it. They definitely respected her decision to take some more time to be able to, sort out her thoughts, process everything, and make the right decision. And I understand that because of the fact that she needs to know who she's taking back home and whose family she really feel comfortable visiting with. So we'll see what she decides. So when Tayshia returns home from the group date, she was definitely shocked, and it was crazy how she got hit by that swinging door. But Bennett is waiting there to talk to her. And, she was like, okay, you want to come inside? What are you doing here? And he was like, can we talk? Can we talk? And so they have a sit-down conversation. And in this conversation, he's definitely well coiffed. I see the little hair curled down above his little eyebrow there. And I mean, he was definitely prepared for this. I would say production strikes again. And he professes his love to her, and that shocked her to her core because she wasn't expecting this. And I don't know if she's shocked because she's excited by him saying it, or she's shocked by the fact whether she trusts his legitimacy in what he's saying. And if it was me, I would be questioning that, because why wait till you're eliminated to say that? Now, listen, people do break up, they realize what they've lost, and then they'll come back and say, you know what, I didn't realize until we were not together that this is how I feel. That could be a possibility too. But you can tell she's torn, trying to figure this thing out, because she got to figure out the whole thing with the other 5 guys that were on the group date, who she's going to give that rose to. Plus, there's another one-on-one date that she has to have with Blake. So, this definitely kind of shakes things up for her. She asked for time. Bennett is okay with that. I'm going to give you time. He definitely tried to sneak in a kiss. And she was like, nope, not today, not right now. And he respected that. That's good. I still don't see the connection with the two of them. But it definitely gives her some food for thought when it comes to what she wants to do in regards to all of these guys. She got decisions to make. She said in the lie detector test group date that there's multiple people that she has feelings for. So it's going to be interesting what she's going to decide. Plus, we saw the previews for next week on the Men Tell All. It's a 2-day episode, Monday and Tuesday. So we'll definitely get the tea on what's going to happen with them. So we'll definitely see what happens next week. So I'm going to do a post notification shout out. If you want to be shout out, comment down below and I will see you and shout you out. So this week it's going to be Hope Ely again. Thanks so much for engaging in the channel. I really appreciate it. And again, like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.